A lark and her momster are coming your way. Gonna tell it how it is, so won't you join us today? And 3, and 2, and 1, and go. And a 1, and a 2. I already did that in another episode.
And welcome to
A lark and her momster. We're coming your way.
Yeah.
I forgot the words to my own song that I wrote for this damn podcast.
Yeah, well,
So,
I don't have anything to say to that.
welcome to A Lark and Her Momster.
Yeah, it's been a
1
week.
week since you looked at me, cocked your head to the side and said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to always hear things and then come up with songs.
All the time.
And it's been
It's bits.
it has been given to me.
It's an inherited trait.
It is an inherited trait.
Easy for
Unlike
you to say.
speaking.
Yeah, it's been a week.
It's been I was about to sing the song again, but I'm not going to. Okay.
Don't do that.
It has been a week. It's been a couple weeks.
It's been
2024.
Yes.
It really has.
It's been a very long time since November the 6th.
It has.
So
Oh, we sound like the girls from Harry Potter. I'm gonna stop being a nerd now.
why?
I'm like, we sound like
I love that you're odd.
Thank you. I am odd.
Yes.
Do you know what else is odd?
I can't imagine.
Well, oddly enough.
What?
What? We're so funny. Oddly
I'm glad
enough,
you think so.
today's wine is called the Odd Lot Cab Syrah. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a Cab Syrah.
They call
It's
it
a Cab Syrah.
A Cab Syrah, yeah.
Cab Syrah.
And it is wine, like politics.
It is wine.
It is wine, and wine, like politics, makes odd bedfellows.
Yes, you could not be my bedfellow if you did not agree with me in my politics.
Amen. Me either. This big red blend of 52% Cabernet Sauvignon and 48% Syrah is an audacious partnership that defies gravity.
You know what's really funny is we didn't write that.
No.
No, that was on the back of the bottle.
It was. Yeah.
This wine defies gravity.
Oh, please.
And I will stop right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So
the
are
question
you-
is...
Are you bold enough to be odd?
Well, totally I'm bold enough to be odd because I'm the queen of odd.
And you raised me to be odd. Well, you
Yes.
didn't raise me to be odd. I just happened to be odd.
Well, I think
you
the
raised-
apple did not fall far from the tree.
Any of the trees.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Our orchard is odd. We have an
Yes.
odd orchard that we came from.
our orchard, I thought you said orchard.
No. I mean, she's definitely a CEO of something. Our org chart. No, orchard.
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 Yes, orchard. Yes, is very odd. And I loved the cork.
The cork was, why? Tell me about the cork.
When I took the cork out of the bottle,
Uh-huh.
which the bottle, by the way, is very, very cool. It's got
It
these...
is cool. It's got like a cool cartoon.
It does. It has these weird little Monterey County guys in a plane, and they're going down in the plane, and they're drinking in the plane, and then they're going up in the clouds in the plane. It's cute, but it says, be odd.
And you should be odd.
Yes, I think everyone should be just a little odd.
And green. Sorry, guys, I'm still wicked high.
She is.
I'm not high. I'm not like wicked high, like New Jersey wicked high. I'm like wicked high. High on wicked. Off wicked. I should stop.
I'm like going, what is New Jersey wicked high?
Like, you know, people say like, oh, that's wicked cool. Or that's wicked hard. You know?
if only you guys could
It's
see the
slang.
faces that I'm making at the moment.
It's a type of slang, but I mean it in the general sense of the musical. But anyway,
Okay.
So today's episode...
when I hear high, you know what I think of.
I know, you do.
Yeah.
Yep. So today's episode is a special one because I know, for one, I have a mom that is a mama bear. And by mama bear, I do mean that should anyone mess with me, she will kill you.
Well, I don't know if I would kill them.
I don't know that you wouldn't.
I don't know. I definitely don't know that I would kill someone if they hurt you, but I would definitely go after them.
She's like, I can't say that I would kill them because this is alive.
No.
You're right, you wouldn't kill them. Yes, you would.
Let's just say I would make sure that they experience suffering for a really long time. And to me, that could be suffering in jail, but I don't know that I would kill them because I don't think I have it in me to do that.
I don't know. You never know until you push somebody. But you know, some moms do have it in them.
Well, and I know that we were curious because we're both big fans of crime.
Oh, yes. We're not fans of crime. Sorry. Let us specify.
We're both big fans
of true crime
podcasts.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Or Dateline, things like that. She's like,
Yes.
We're fans of crime.
So we were thinking, initially, we were like, oh, I wonder if there are any mother-daughter killers out there.
Which you did say you found one.
I found one.
But that's for a different podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's really kind of a weird one. But
ooh, so that'll be fun.
Yeah,
but
one.
Today's episode,
because you were like, well, I wonder if there were any moms that would kill for their daughters.
Because you go to bat for me, and you have always been that mama bear. And I know there are a lot of moms who are like, oh, don't mess with my kid. Like, girl, you're going to have to deal with me. These moms that we're going to talk about really took that on to an extreme level.
And what I find really most interesting is that neither of these cases are in the United States.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it makes me wonder, is it because we have a better justice system here and people trusted the justice system here?
No.
Or do we just have less crazy people here?
No.
No?
I'm sorry. November 6th. Less crazy people.
No.
Okay.
So anyway, there are two cases that I found when I was doing my research through the Google. And
I helped find one.
you did.
Actually, I helped find both.
You did. And then I couldn't find what you found.
Yeah.
So I had to
re-find it.
I had to re-find them. So the first one is Marianne Bachmeier. And sadly, she actually ended up dying of cancer at the age of 46. And ultimately was buried next to her 7-year-old daughter, Anna, in the Bergtor Cemetery in Lubeck. But the story of Marianne Bachmeier, she was a West German woman, and she ended up shooting and killing Klaus Grabowski. And Klaus Grabowski was on trial for the rape and murder of Marianne's daughter, Anna.
Oh, she was so little.
She was 8.
Oh, my goodness.
She was only 8 years old.
She's a wee baby.
She was. And that I could maybe understand.
Oh.
Yeah.
My mom changes her whole stance.
Yeah. Anyway. And basically, it was an act of vigilantism in the District Court of Lubeck in 1981.
Wow.
The case sparked extensive media coverage and public debate. And as a result of that, Bachmeier was convicted of manslaughter and unlawful possession of a firearm. She was sentenced to 6 years and released on probation after serving only 3.
Good. Because I'm sorry, but I don't have kids. But if someone... This is entirely different and not like this at all. But if someone did anything to Luna, who is my fur child, not the same at all as actually having a kid. I know that there's a difference. But I know someone...
I don't know that there is a difference.
But I know that
you.
if something... True. I cosmically had Luna. But if someone did anything to her, I know I would go to extremes to make them feel pain they've never felt before.
Yeah, and I definitely think small children, especially...
Yeah.
it just, anyway.
There's an innocence there.
So
that
what she did, what Marianne did, is she went into the courtroom and fired 5 shots. Oh yeah, she brought the gun into the courtroom.
Oh shit! She was like, I know where he's gonna be.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And brought the gun into the courtroom, fired 5 shots into him, and killed him right there. So,
good for her.
I know. I actually.
We're kind of rooting for it. We're kind of
I don't think anyone should ever hurt anyone else, but I kind of get it.
Yeah, I get it.
This is a man who raped and killed her 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after she was released.
And sometimes, I just want to say, sometimes it is hard to trust the justice system. It can be. We all have seen cases where people have been either falsely accused or people who get off because of money, stature, whiteness, just saying.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Or situations where people have actually ended up, being put to death, and then later,
you find out.
Often black people.
Yes. Later you find out it wasn't them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Truly sad. Truly sad.
Well, it's like the woman. We're getting a little off topic, but it is like the woman who on her deathbed said, "Oh yeah, I lied about Emmett Till."
Exactly.
And it's like, I try really hard not to hate people, but some people make it really easy to hate people. This guy who did this to this little girl, he's hateable.
He is hateable.
He's hateable.
I get you. So Marianne Bachmeier actually moved abroad for a fair amount of time after she was released. And then she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and she moved back to Germany. And, when you think about that whole scenario, here's a woman, she's got an 8-year-old child. The child is raped and murdered. She goes after the guy who did it, who was her neighbor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then
that's a whole different, because that's a betrayal of someone that you think you trust because they're your neighbor, which, by the way, you never know your neighbors.
Wait, he may not have been the neighbor.
Oh, JK.
I'm not sure about whether he was the neighbor. The other case, it was the neighbor, the one we're going to talk about next. So I may have gotten the two of them confused. It's because of Odd Lot.
It's because she's been drinking the odd wine.
The Odd Lot.
But I will say that there is such a thing as trauma and stress wreaking havoc on the body.
And the brain.
And the brain.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. And taking, I've never, obviously, taken a life because I'm sitting here talking to you. If I had, I'd probably be in jail.
I think so.
A little bit.
Yeah. I'd be visiting you.
Unless I just happened to get over that.
Did you just do the Glinda?
I did. Oh, it's a problem.
Move? You do.
No, I didn't. I didn't because I flipped it. So I did the alphabet hair flip. Glinda does that one. This one.
Alphabet tried that one.
She did. No, but Alphabet did this. Okay, off topic. Anyway.
You're so strange. You're so odd.
I came from you. So, coming back to this, what were we talking about?
We were talking about one mom.
Oh, I'm saying I've never killed anyone, right? Obviously. But I can not imagine what it feels like to take a life. So, in regards to not only losing her daughter in such a horrific way, but also
her only daughter,
but also taking someone else's life. Like, even though it wasn't a vigilante act, it's still that wreaks havoc. So yeah, that's pretty intense. So
it is. It's very tragic.
How old was she when she ended up passing from cancer?
I would say she was 46.
Okay.
I said that.
Okay.
She died at the age of 46. I said that in the beginning.
Did you say...
If only you would pay attention.
But did you say who she was buried next to?
I did. I said she was buried next to her daughter, Anna, in Bergtor Cemetery.
None of this is funny. funny, but it's funny when she mispronounces words.
Bergtor Cemetery.
In Lubeck.
In Lubeck, yes. I said that in the beginning. And again, if you would just listen to your mother.
We'll see.
Yeah. So let me tell you about the second story.
So the second story is interesting because I remember reading about this. I don't even remember where I was reading about this. Is this the right one?
Yeah, it happened. The situation actually happened in 1998.
This is a different one because the one I was looking at was a woman in Mexico. So this is a completely different story. But why don't you tell me a little bit about this story, and then I will actually Google the one that I was thinking of.
Oh, I know which one in Mexico, but she didn't end up killing him. That was the difference. But
she went after.
She went after him, and then they killed her.
Did they? No.
Yeah,
okay,
they did.
Tell us about the Spain.
So that's why I didn't pick that one, because she ended up.
But she did.
She got them arrested, and a couple of them died, but she didn't kill them.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up who she is.
So don't go there. We can talk about that one in another podcast, because now you're wasting our listeners' time by Googling in the middle of a podcast.
They have no.
So I'm going to tell you the story of Maria del Carmen Garcia. And she had a daughter, Veronica, who was 13 years old when Veronica was raped at knife point by their neighbor, Antonio Cosme, in 1998 in Spain.
Oh.
You can tell my allergies are bad.
It's been an allergy day. Allergies have been real out here, real shitty.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, so keep telling me a little bit about...
Plus, we've been cleaning out the house.
We have been cleaning...
Yeah.
Well, I've helped.
You have helped.
I've vacuumed things.
Yes.
I keep you company.
You do that very well.
I wonder if she'd really go after anyone who abducted me. Or if she'd be like, wow, this is peaceful.
No, I kind of like having you around. I do.
Okay,
so as I mentioned, Maria del Carmen's daughter was raped at knife point by their neighbor in 1998 in Spain. And he was sentenced to 9 years in prison for the crime.
That's it?
Oh, yeah, that's it. 9 years in prison for the crime. But in June 2005, he was on day release when he approached Maria at a bus stop near her home outside of Alicante, and he said, "How's your daughter?" Basically taunting her.
Oh my God! Sir.
So
you don't even get a sir.
She went after him in a bar. Poured petrol all over him.
Good, I would too.
And burned him alive. So
for that woman, I just want to slow clap.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, you do that to anyone I love. You taunt. You deserve it.
Yeah. So he died, and then she ended up going to jail for a while.
Which is a bummer, but you know.
But, at the end of the day, he shouldn't
she was probably in her
said
cell, like
3 abominable words to her.
She was probably just in her cell, like
taunting her. Yeah, and I think, at the it's horrible that, and mind you, I know that the people who do these kinds of things have had horrible things done to them as children.
Yeah.
We recognize...
And here's the thing, right? We feel bad for the kid version. We feel terrible. Morbid says this, we feel for the kid version who had trauma put onto them. And
no one stepped in to intervene or
Correct.
help.
However,
which is why it's so important
yes,
for people to stand up and to do what's right when you hear or see or suspect that something's going on with a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hear something, see something, say something.
Exactly.
Like, even if you don't think it's your place, just do it. Even if you don't want it to be, you can always, call the police or report things. Like, you don't...
Call DCS.
Right.
But I will tell you the challenge with DCS is that they have...
How do you really feel about this? Yes.
They don't have enough qualified people working. Their caseloads are off the charts. And
I can't imagine their caseloads.
And they are... Well, I think they're paid a little better now, but for many, many years they were underpaid as staff, given the horrific things that they have to deal with. And it just speaks to the system and how screwed up the system is.
Yeah.
And it is. There's not enough funding for the things that matter most. There's not enough funding for the systems that will make a difference and people's lives.
Yeah. And these kids, if you really think about it, right? We always say things like, well, the children are our future. They are our future. We don't invest in them. But you don't, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't actually, we think about the kids that are well off as our future, but there are kids out there who are experiencing childhood adverse experiences and trauma.
Yeah,
and
big time
guess
trauma.
what? They're going to grow up too, and they're going to do these terrible things.
Right, and then we're going to blame them instead of recognizing we could have done something. Yeah. You can prevent or intervene, and the sooner you can intervene, the more you can prevent.
Yeah.
But it takes those resources.
Absolutely.
And people would rather pay for, I don't know, theater or gardens.
Okay, first of all,
not that those aren't nice.
I was gonna say I love me some theaters.
well, and
musical theater,
right?
But what we're saying is, something that's so prevalent right now is we don't want to see you do things for show. We want you to take action.
Right.
Exactly. So we can. We can be out here saying, "Oh, we're standing in solidarity with you." Cool. And take the steps to actually do something about it.
Right.
And whatever you believe in.
Contribute.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take much. Small contributions to organizations that are out there making a difference.
Yes.
And recognize that government funding is the largest source of funding that can make the biggest difference in organizations that are trying to make a difference in children's lives.
Absolutely.
And the more we try to reduce our focus on public education and reduce the resources that are going into helping people help children, then I'm sorry, don't complain.
Yeah,
don't complain.
Yeah.
So you found the other one?
I did find the other one that I was thinking about and that I had sent you, but you didn't look it up correctly. So
I did look it up.
I'm going to kind of read an article. It's from the New York Times, and it's about Miriam Rodrigues, who stalked her daughter's killers across Mexico one by one. I mean, she was armed with a handgun, a fake ID, and this bitch had disguises.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah. She was defying a system where criminal impunity often prevails. So she stopped every few minutes to catch her breath and study the photo of her next target. She'd been hunting these targets for a while, almost up to a year, stalking them online, interrogating other criminals that this target worked with, even befriending unwitting relatives for tips on their whereabouts.
Who wrote this article in the New York Times?
New York Times. I don't know. I'll find out in a minute as I keep kind of sort of summarizing it badly. So, ever since 2014, she'd been tracking the people responsible for the kidnapping and murder of her 20-year-old daughter, Karen. Half of them were already in prison, not because the authorities had cracked the case, but because she had pursued them on her own with a meticulous abandon. She cut her hair, dyed it, disguised herself as a pollster, a health worker, an election official to get their names and addresses. She really went the extra mile.
I love this.
I know. She invented excuses to meet their families, whether that's unsuspecting grandmothers and cousins who gave her details, however small. And she wrote every single thing down, stuffed it into her black computer bag, building her investigation and tracking them down one by one. She knew their habits, their friends, their family, their hometowns. She even knew about their childhoods.
But who were these people?
So these people were, I believe they were...
Was it part of a cartel?
Yeah, a crew. Yeah, a cartel that had abducted her daughter for ransom. a rogues gallery of criminals who tried to start new lives as born-again Christians.
Oh, God.
A taxi driver, a car salesman, and a babysitter. I'm sorry. God can't save you when you've done horrible things like that.
Sorry. No.
So it was the cartel. Yeah. She asked the government for armed guards, fearing the cartel had finally, had enough. And she had chased down one of her last targets, but unfortunately, she was shot in front of her home and killed.
Oh, God. See,
Yeah.
I told you. It was really sad.
Yeah. But her story represents so much of what is wrong, in Mexico, and so remarkable about its people, their perseverance in the face of government indifference. And the country is really torn apart by violence and impunity that, a grieving mother had to solve her own daughter's crime.
But that happens around here, too.
It does, but that's why this kind of feeling of vigilanteism, I don't know if that's a word, but I just made up one if it's not.
It's correct.
Is it
Vigilanteism is generally the way it's pronounced, but you did good. I like vigilanteism.
I like my accent, vigilanteism.
I like that much better, too.
Thank you. Yeah. I do too, yes.
One day when we live somewhere else,
Yes, I'll adopt this accent, and oh my God, we're talking about really horrible things, and I'm doing an accent.
You are.
I don't know, I don't like that. So,
because you're odd, like the wine.
I am odd. But I think what's really incredible is this woman really made sure to do every single possible thing she could to
go after the killers,
avenge her daughter's death.
So did these two.
Yeah, so did these two, Marianne and
what was this
Maria
mom's
del
name?
Carmen. So this woman's name, and I said it earlier, her name is, let me scroll.
Because I find it kind of fascinating.
Miriam Rodrigues.
Right. Miriam.
Marianne.
Mm-hmm. And Maria.
Marianne and Maria. Ooh, MMM.
Yep. Isn't that fascinating?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Moms.
all kind of Maria. They all start with Maria.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Huh. Wow, we could really get into the lore of that.
I wonder what that is. Kind of gave me goosebumps
I
just
know.
talking about it. It's like they all have very similar names.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Very interesting. Definitely interesting. And
yeah,
kind of sad.
Sad, and at the same time, power to these women who are willing to give their lives for their children, for their daughters. Whether it's like Miriam, who actually gave her life, or Marianne or Maria, who did in essence of
they
jail time, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's giving up so many years.
And the stress of her daughter's death and everything that happened to her is probably what led to
the cancer.
The cancer,
yeah,
right? That trauma.
It's incredible what moms will do for their daughters.
Yes, and it's good for daughters to remember that.
When you chase down cartel people from, I will say, I actually do have a story, and this is nothing in comparison to what the other mothers did, but when I was in middle school, I was bullied pretty terribly. I think I talk about it in our middle school episode.
You do.
Yes. I had a picture taken of me that I did not know was going to happen, and it was
not something you wanted out in the public.
No, definitely not something I wanted out in the public, and I did so to be liked because I was told that I would be liked, and these people were my friends, and this is what you do. It ended up being on the internet, and thank God it wasn't now, because
you could have gotten it off.
Could have gotten it off. But I received everything I received death threats from kids. It was wild. And I told you about it, and it was hard to tell you about it because I was very embarrassed.
No, they found out at school.
No, they didn't find out at school.
Yes.
I told them at school,
right?
Because
I
was scared. Yes,
right. And
so I told them at school what happened,
and they called me in, and you were afraid to tell me.
Yep, but I told you. And I thought I was going to be in so much trouble. But I kid you not, when I told my mom, and she goes, "They did what?" And then I'm like, okay. So I admitted that I was in trouble. I admitted that I did something wrong. I fucked up. It happens. But when I tell you that I saw my mom go from like, okay, thank you for telling me information, to I'm going to kill these people. Not actually, but I saw the look.
Oh, we made sure it came off the internet.
Oh, you made sure it came off the internet, and you made sure to have a sit down with every single person involved
and their
parents.
Mm-hmm. Made them apologize.
And I think a couple of them were suspended.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's to Mama Bears.
Here's to Mama Bears. So I can honestly say I'm very grateful to have a mom that would. Oh, we're supposed to drink afterwards, or else it's bad luck. Oh.
You spit in there. You made bubbles?
Here's to moms who go the extra mile for their daughters. And I thank you for being my mama bear, always having my back, teaching me all the good lessons, loving me through the hell and the insanity and the oddliness. And
I love the oddliness.
She's like, maybe a little less of the hell and the insanity.
Thank you very much, yes.
But yes, to all the moms out there, we appreciate the work that you do. And while these moms were, well, I feel like they were well within their right, we urge you maybe not to kill.
Yeah, but don't. Reach out to us and we'll help you. And then we can...
We'll help you hide the body.
Yeah. No, we will help you get justice.
Hide the body.
We will help you find a good attorney who will go after them.
And we'll hide the body.
Yeah, anyway. And I'm realizing that we're recording this. Didn't think about this, but it's the holiday season. And yet...
It's the holiday season. And
what a morbid topic during the holiday season. So next time we record, next week, we're going to come up with something a little bit more...
Festive.
Ooh,
I came up with that word out of my bum. It was great.
Out of your what?
My bum. Me bum.
You're... Not off the top of your head?
No, for some reason, it's at me bum.
You're such a freak.
I know.
Anyway, so we'll come up with something a little bit more
festive.
Yeah.
But we thank you for listening, and we hope that you will rate, review, and subscribe.
And share.
And share. Please share us.
Share us?
Share us
share
with
the
your
podcast.
friends. Yeah, share the podcast with your friends, your family.
If you want to share us, well, that
might charge.
Yeah, exactly. There's a fee involved.
There's a fee. But we appreciate you, and we will have a more festive episode for you coming up. Thank you for listening, and
goodbye.
Over and out.